and welcome to another video about Star Dynasties, the game that I'm working on. Star Dynasties is a procedural narrative strategy game. If you would like to know more about the game in general, please check out the What is the Game Like video in the links below. In this video, I'm going to talk about the characters of the game. Now, these procedurally generated characters are at the very heart of the game, because the game is about politics, and it's about the stories of human drama that arise from the aristocracy of this galaxy trying to achieve their ends. So I'm going to start by focusing on my character a little bit here. And there's a couple of things I covered in a previous video, so I'm not going to talk about affiliations with my faction and my political house or my skills. Instead, I'm going to focus on my personality and the emotional system. So the personality of a character is described through traits. You can see that this character is generous, they're considered forgiving, but unfortunately they're also thought of as a bit of a coward. Now, these traits affect the way that characters will behave. So for example, if I look at this vassal leader of mine, we'll see that he's aggressive. Well, that immediately tells me I need to be a little bit more careful about this vassal because they're likelier to rebel. The other thing that traits do is they change the way characters react to certain events. For example, I'm a coward. Now what that means is I'm going to react a lot more negatively to events that scare me. For example, if you are looking through my history, I can see that one of my recent events was that someone declared war on me. And if I bring her up, you will see that I dislike her quite strongly, and part of my dislike is because I'm a coward. It's given a significant positive modifier to that reaction. Traits also affect the basic like and dislike that characters have for each other. So for example, if I click on one of my rulers, we can see that I dislike them quite significantly because of their personality. I'm a coward, but they're aggressive. They also are reserved, they're a rule breaker, and they're dull. Personality aspects that are generally not very popular. Now, one of the most important things about characters is their emotional state. The game tracks how the character reacts to the events that happen in the game. So for example, we can see that my character is mildly pleased that recent diplomatic actions have gone quite well. But conversely, we can see that they're actually quite unhappy about the fact that they're apart from Archon Consort Mona Moyer, who's their wife who's recently died. In fact, they're quite distraught at that. Happiness is important because when you're happy, other characters find you more pleasant to interact with. And conversely, when you're depressed, other characters will avoid you. And on top of that, happiness increases the rate at which your skills increase. So you're overall a more effective character if you're happy than if you're sad. Now obviously you can't avoid being unhappy in some situations, like if a loved one dies, that's going to have a knock-on effect, as you can see, on your happiness. And sometimes you might even sacrifice your happiness quite willingly to achieve some kind of political objective. For example, if you stab a friend in the back to try to gain some political advantage, you're going to feel quite guilty about that. And in fact, a big part of a character's emotional state is their empathy towards other characters. For example, you can see that my character is quite sad on behalf of leader Mahala Hinton. And that's because he cares for her quite deeply. And she's sad at some recent event that's happened to her. And I can see, the text here is a little bit buggy, but I can see that the reason she's unhappy is because she's recently tried to depose one of her rulers and it's gone very badly for her. She lost the skirmish that ensued and then she lost control of that ruler system. So you can see that my character is a little bit sad for something that's happened to another character. Happiness has an implication on the way characters like or dislike each other. For example, if I bring up the ruler with which she had her misadventure, we'll see that she dislikes that ruler, who's now a leader as a matter of fact. You can see that she dislikes that character quite strongly. And the main reason she dislikes that character is precisely that misadventure she had with them. And in general, the rule goes, if someone does something that makes you happy, you'll like them more. If someone does something that makes you sad, you'll dislike them more. And now this also works on empathy. So if I bring up my character here to the right, you'll see that my character also dislikes this leader. And the main reason they dislike them is because of their actions towards leader Mahala Hinton. So you'll see, this leader didn't do anything wrong to me specifically. But if a character is mean to a character that I like, I am going to dislike them as well. And conversely, if they did something mean to a character I dislike, I'm going to start liking them. And similarly, if a character is nice to my friends, I'm going to like them. If they are mean to my enemies, I'm also going to like them. So this is a key way that political relationships form. Now, another reason for being liked or disliked by character is your social reputation. So let's bring up leader Mahala Hinton again, and we'll see that social reputation doesn't work based on what you do to a specific character, but everyone in the world will change their opinion about what you've done when you do something that is considered immoral. You'll see, for example, that this leader has a negative opinion of leader Mahala Hinton based on her perception of leader Mahala Hinton's honor. And that boils down to the fact that leader Mahala Hinton has declared an unjustified war. She's tried to depose that ruler we've been talking about without a justification. She seems to have fined one of her rulers without a justification. These are all things that are considered immoral acts in this social system. So she's built up quite a negative perception of her within the general public. And similarly, another aspect of social reputation is respect. Now, leader Mahala Hinton is not a well-respected character. And the main reason for that seems to be that she's proven not to be a very adept leader by losing control of that system. Okay, so I hope that was a good overview of characters and their emotional system. If you'd like to know more about the game, follow me on Twitter or Facebook. And if you have any thoughts or comments about this video, please leave a comment. I'd love to get your feedback.